Jail pulley. The prisoner. Gopi and his fellow inmate plotted their escape, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and adrenaline. The rhythmic thud of approaching boots shattered the silence of the cell block. Gopi and his accomplice, their eyes wide with terror, feigned sleep, their breaths shallow and their hearts pounding in their chests. Gopi recounted the harrowing events that led to his imprisonment. Gopi's mother, a descendant of the esteemed Mangaladu family, had defied societal norms by eloping with a man she loved. Their love, born from defiance, had given birth to Gopi. Tragedy struck soon after Gopi's birth, claiming his father's life. Despite the adversity, his mother, a woman of unwavering determination, ensured Gopi received a quality education. Through her sacrifices, he eventually graduated from college. Armed with a degree but devoid of opportunities, Gopi's hopes dwindled. The weight of his mother's illness, a constant reminder of her deteriorating health, pressed down on him. Each passing day, the desperate struggle to afford her life-saving medication intensified. Gopi, driven by desperation, turned to daily labor. Yet, even this meager income proved elusive, snatched away by two deceitful individuals who preyed on his vulnerability. Arriving at the medical shop, Gopi's heart sank as he realized his hard-earned money had vanished. Despair consumed him, and in a moment of desperation, he decided to seek help from his maternal uncle, a last resort in his dwindling hope. His uncle's face contorted with anger as he recognized Gopi as his long-lost nephew. Disdain etched across his features, he coldly ordered Gopi to leave, his voice laced with contempt. Gopi, desperate and pleading, begged for financial assistance. But his uncle's response was harsh and unforgiving. "If you're penniless, beg or steal, but never darken my doorstep again." Gopi returned home, his heart heavy with defeat. The night was long and restless, a tormenting replay of the day's humiliations. A desperate plan formed in his mind. He crept to his uncle's house, his resolve hardened by despair. With a trembling hand, he opened the safe, stealing the money that had been so cruelly denied him. His uncle awoke to the intrusion, but Gopi, with a swift and decisive move, locked him inside a room. Seizing the stolen money, he fled the scene. However, the police, alerted to the theft, were hot on his trail. A tense chase ensued, but Gopi, fueled by adrenaline and desperation, managed to evade capture, finally reaching the sanctuary of his own home. Gopi presented his mother with a sum of money, but her joy turned to shock and anger when she realized it was stolen from her brother. She demanded Gopi return the ill-gotten gains, and he reluctantly agreed. As he stepped outside to make amends, he was met by the police, who arrested him on the spot. He ended up in the prison. Gopi made another attempt to break out of prison. This time, he succeeded, but his friend was apprehended. Upon returning home, Gopi discovered that no one was there. His neighbor lady informed him that his mother had passed away just 3 days prior. As they were speaking, they heard the sound of approaching police vehicles. Fearing capture, Gopi fled the scene. The detective probing the jailbreak diligently gathered information from the prison guards. However, they were unable to provide a photograph of the escaped inmate, Gopi. The detective, a seasoned investigator, tasked his assistants, Jambu and Mutu, with finding the escaped convict, Gopi. As an unsuspecting soul bathed in the river, oblivious to the world around them, Gopi swooped in, pilfering their belongings. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Shantha, a young and ambitious stenographer, was engrossed in a conversation with her office manager, Madhu. Madhu's peaceful conversation was abruptly interrupted as his boss summoned him. A stern scolding ensued, accusing Madhu of mismanagement and the subsequent financial loss incurred by the office. Gopi, weary and hungry, sought refuge in a local tea shop. Unbeknownst to him, Jambu and Mutu were also present. As they moved to approach him, Gopi, ever alert, executed a clever maneuver, slipping away from their grasp. With a swift dash, he made his way to the nearest railway station, boarding a departing train. Gopi, a man on the run, found solace in a clandestine gambling club. However, his luck ran out as a police raid descended upon the club. The officers, hot on Gopi's trail, chased him through the dimly lit streets, their determination unwavering. The tranquil night in Shantha's home was disrupted by a sudden knock on the door. Reluctantly, her father opened it to find Gopi, a stranger with a desperate look in his eyes. Gopi, seeking refuge from the relentless pursuit, pleaded for their help. He identifies himself as Ravi, who arrived in this area in pursuit of employment opportunities. He was robbed, losing all his money and belongings. As he was about to eat, the police, mistaking him for someone else, gave chase. Convinced by his narrative, Shanta and her father extended hospitality to him for the night. Nevertheless, as they were about to retire for the night, yet another knock was heard at their door. Gopi concealed himself as the door was opened, revealing the presence of the police. They inquired about Gopi's whereabouts, to which Shanta responded with a denial. The police, unconvinced by her response, departed from the premises. As dawn broke, Shanta departed for work. Seizing the opportunity, Gopi turned to her father, pleading for help in securing employment. Her father, moved by his desperation, vowed to enlist Shanta's aid. Shanta's boss has a daughter named Prema. Shanta's manager, Madhu, has romantic feelings for her, but she does not reciprocate them. As Shanta stepped into her home, she was stunned by the chilling truth that unfolded before her. Unbeknownst to Gopi, she had overheard his dark confession. He was a fugitive, a prisoner who had broken free from the confines of the jail. Gopi poured his heart out to Shanta, confessing his dark past. She listened, her heart heavy with the weight of his secret. Promising to keep his identity hidden, she began to care for him, providing him with clothes and other necessities. Their bond, forged in trust and compassion, grew stronger with each passing day. Madhu paid a visit to Shanta's father to propose marriage. Her father indicated that the ultimate decision rested with Shanta. Madhu experienced discomfort upon observing Gopi's interaction with Shanta. Gopi was appointed to the position of office manager, supplanting Madhu, due to Shanta's recommendation. This demotion greatly displeased Madhu, prompting him to lodge a complaint with their superior. Prema arrived at the office to extend an invitation to Shanta for her birthday celebration. Shanta introduced her to Gopi, who was likewise invited to the event. During the birthday celebration, Prema performed a dance while Shanta provided musical accompaniment. Prema was captivated by Gopi and invited him to remain after the festivities. Shanta departed for home feeling dejected. The detective, along with his associates Jambu and Mutu, persisted in their diligent search for Gopi. When Gopi visited Shanta, she expressed her displeasure at his prolonged absence. He attributed his lack of visits to his demanding work schedule. Shanta witnessed a romantic encounter between Gopi and Prema at the beach. Shanta expressed her distress to her father regarding Gopi's estrangement, but he maintained his belief in their eventual marriage. Gopi exposed Madhu's embezzlement, resulting in a heated confrontation. Madhu was subsequently terminated from his position, and Gopi was offered accommodation at the company guest house as a precautionary measure. Shanta inadvertently observed a private conversation between Prema and Gopi. Prema, irritated by the interruption, admonished Shanta for her lack of decorum and inquired about her relationship with Gopi. Gopi, in a dismissive tone, denied any connection and characterized Shanta as a troublesome individual. The detective ascertained the whereabouts of Gopi's residence. Gopi sought to misappropriate funds from the bank by composing a letter to initiate the process. Shanta declined to assist with the typing, citing potential financial harm to the institution, compelling Gopi to undertake the task himself. Gopi and Prema's relationship deepened, and they began discussing marriage. During the night, while Gopi slept, Madhu attempted to attack him with a knife. Shanta's timely arrival and scream alerted Gopi, who then engaged in a fight with Madhu. Prema, informed by her servant who witnessed the altercation, rushed to the scene. By the time she arrived, Madhu had already fled. Gopi told Shanta that he was dissimulating his affection for her to placate the boss. He reaffirmed his devotion to her and his intention to marry her exclusively. Hidden outside the house, Prema overheard their conversation. Following Shanta's departure, Prema confronted Gopi regarding his discourse with her. Gopi, resorting to deception, concocted a narrative in which Shanta was portrayed as being infatuated with him and threatening self-harm if he declined her affections. Gopi affirmed to Prema her singular importance in his life and pledged to marry her irrespective of any obstacles. Shanta's father paid a visit to Gopi at the office, but was met with disrespect and subsequently dismissed. Shanta was compelled to take a leave of absence to attend to her ailing father, who unfortunately succumbed to his illness. In her absence, Gopi dismissed her from her position. Gopi, recognizing the financial benefits of marrying Prema, resolved to eliminate Shantha, who possessed knowledge of his fugitive status and could potentially jeopardize his future. Gopi visited Shantha nocturnally, expressing contrition for his prior conduct. He asserted that he had reformed and resigned from his position, reaffirming his affection for her. Gopi escorted Shantha on a stroll, oblivious to the fact that Prema's servant was witnessing their outing. The serene backwaters, a tranquil haven, became the stage for a love reborn. While Gopi and Shantha were engaged in a tranquil boat excursion, Madhu, armed with a rifle, approached with homicidal intent. Concurrently, Prema, informed by her servant, observed their outing and returned home, filled with resentment. In the middle of the backwaters, Gopi betrayed Shantha, pushing her into the water and causing her demise. He then fled the scene by rowing away. The available versions of the movie conclude at this point. Nevertheless, the original storyline extended further, but these additional scenes are not currently available. Police arrest Gopi for killing Shantha. During the trial, Santha appears in the court. She states that she fell into the river by accident and that Gopi is not guilty. The truth is that Madhu, who was present there to kill Gopi, rescues Shantha. Though Gopi is absolved of the charges, the detective investigating the jailbreak reaches the court and takes him into custody. Gopi, who is a totally changed man, understands all his mistakes. Shantha promises to wait for him. Gopi is freed from jail after a short jail sentence and marries Shantha. The movie ends.